everyone, it's Rihanna and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about all of the TV shows and movies I watched in the month of September 2018. I saw a lot of great things and I cannot wait to talk to you about it. So let's get on with the list. So the very first movie I watched in September was Crazy Rich Asians, which there had been so much hype about. And there should be, like, this is an all Asian cast in a romantic comedy film and you don't see that a lot in mainstream Hollywood. So I was super excited to see this and I can tell you I was not disappointed. Crazy Rich Asians follows an Asian American woman named Rachel, who is played by Constance Wu, who travels to Singapore to meet her fiance Nick's family for the first time. And let me tell you, they don't seem too impressed. Basically, Nick's family runs and owns half of Singapore, so they're super rich, and Rachel is just not used to this lifestyle, but she tries her best because she loves Nick so much. This movie is actually turning out to be one of my new favourite romantic comedy movies just because all of it is just done so well. It's super funny, it is romantic, it's not one of those cheesy romances either. The main couple in this film, Constance Wu and Henry Gooding, have the most amazing chemistry as Rachel and Nick. You wouldn't even think you were watching a film. Along with those two in the cast, we have Awkwafina, Gemma Chan and Michelle Yoon. It is such a great cast and I just loved Crazy Rich Asians. It was so over the top and cheesy at points, but I absolutely loved it. The second film I watched was The Happy Time Murders, which is the adult puppet film. The film follows a puppet detective who is living in a world of inequality. Puppets and humans are very much separated, and he has actually been banned from being a cop because of a situation with him and another puppet where he couldn't shoot the puppet. And he teams up with his ex-cop partner to solve the murders of all of the castmates of the Happy Time show, I believe it is. This film stars Melissa McCarthy. I can't remember who exactly voices the puppet, but there's a lot of big names in this movie. I think Maya Rodolfo's in it as well. Maya Rodolfo's in it, yep, and Elizabeth Banks is in this movie as well. So a lot of famous faces. I hadn't really heard much about the Happy Time Murders or watched the trailer that many times, so I was kind of pleasantly surprised at this. I found a lot of the parts of the film quite humorous because it is so different seeing puppets in this light. I got what they were trying to do with that idea, but the more I think about the film, the more it kind of didn't work for me. I think if I was to watch it a second time round, I would definitely find bits of it that I didn't find funny or that just don't work for me, if you know what I mean. Definitely think maybe it's a one-time watch on DVD or Netflix or something. The third movie I watched in September was actually Mars Attack, which is one of my boyfriend's favourite films. So he was just like, you know, I'm going to show you one of my favourite films and you can show me one of yours. So we sat and watched Mars Attack. And Mars Attack is basically what it says on the tin. It's basically a cheesier, funny version of Independence Day. Basically, aliens who live on Mars, Martians, decide to come down to Earth to take over the planet. And Jack Nicholson's in it, Glenn Close is in it, lots of famous faces are in this movie. Sarah Jessica Parker's in it, I forgot about her. She plays like this sort of TV personality, and there's this scene in the film where, spoilers, she's kidnapped by the aliens and her head is put on her dog's body. It's quite humorous. It's just a super silly and simple film, but it's really funny and just such a good laugh, honestly. Like, I can see why my boyfriend loves it because it's just so funny. The first TV show I watched was actually Magic for Humans, and this was on Netflix. It follows a magician, and I just really found this quite eye-opening. I quite enjoy watching magicians, and this guy was just unreal. And I found the series to be far too short because as soon as we finished watching the show, we were like, what do you mean there's no more episodes, if you know what I mean? It was a nice quick little watch. The episodes were only about 20 minutes long, but the guy who presents it, the actual magician, has such a great personality and like, such great charisma. You just could watch him till the ends of the earth, really. I really quite enjoyed that. It was a nice little fun, easy watch. Doing a full 180 from Magic for Humans, I saw BlacKkKlansman, which is the latest film by Spike Lee. It stars John David Washington and Adam Driver as two police officers who are living in, I believe, the 1960s, and is very much at the time that the Ku Klux Klan are very much on the scene and known by everybody. And John David Washington actually plays Ron Stallworth, who was a real life person. This is based on a true story, who basically calls up a member of the Ku Klux Klan and infiltrates them and uses his police partner, who's played by Adam Driver, as his physical form and himself as a form over the phone speaking to the Klansmen. And basically he gets inside information about when they're next going to attack. And this film was just so incredibly thought-provoking, intense, raw, just incredible filmmaking really. Like, it's important for these stories to be told because I believe after the case happened they sort of got rid of all the files because they didn't want the public to know about it, but it's so important that this story is told, and done by Spike Lee, who's a great director, and with these actors. I'm still thinking about it now. It was such an incredible film and thought-provoking, and I just can't get over it really. The third act was one of the most intense things I've seen in a very, very long time. If you haven't checked out BlacKkKlansman, and you can, highly recommend it. Up next is a TV series, or a mini-series should we say, and that is Sharp Objects. This is based off the book by Gillian Flynn, whose book Gone Girl is also a movie, which you've probably seen. So Sharp Objects stars Amy Adams as Camille Preaker, who is a reporter in St. Louis, and she has to go back to her hometown of Wind Gap, which is in the country, when two girls go missing. She thinks that her telling the story of these two girls missing will give the story more of a personal touch. And while she's there, she's trying to solve the case, but she's also trying to battle her inner demons. I won't tell you more than that because holy shit, this is one of the best TV miniseries I've seen in such a long time. So obviously we have Amy Adams in this, we have Patricia Clarkson who plays her mother in this, and holy shit, the acting cast all around is just incredible. The young actress that plays Amma, who is Camille's sister, is amazing in the show. If you did enjoy Gone Girl, I say enjoy, but if you liked Gone Girl and you like murder mysteries, definitely check Sharp Objects out. It will blow your mind by the end. It is very much a slow burn TV show. There are 8 episodes, and for the most part you're watching and you're thinking you're not learning anything, but when you look back once you've finished, you actually get so many details that you wouldn't have thought would be important to the final reveal. This is definitely one of the best acted, directed and written TV shows I've seen in a while. It's from HBO, so I suppose, like, how could it not be? If you like murder mysteries, check out Sharp Objects. Next up we have a Netflix original film, which is Sierra Burgess is a Loser, and this tells the story of a young teenage girl who gets a text from a boy that was not meant for her. And she starts texting this boy back and they start forming a relationship, but he thinks she is someone else, and it gets very, very complicated. I saw the trailer for this one and I thought it was such a positive message because you have Shannon Purser, who was in Stranger Things, playing the title character of Sierra Burgess, who she's plus size, she's not perfect looking, and it's so important to have that representation in films, even if it is a Netflix original. But watching the film, you see it's quite problematic. The film itself is very cheesy. It's not got the same sort of cutesiness to it as All the Boys I Loved Before, which is another Netflix original. It doesn't work in some places, and it's just very, very problematic. Like, essentially she's catfishing this guy, which isn't great. And the character of Sierra, obviously she's not perfect, she's a teenage girl, none of them are, but she becomes quite unlikable as time goes on. I had some problems with Sierra Burgess as a Loser, but you know, it's great to have that representation out there in movies, and I think Shannon Purser is a great actress. I want to see her in more. She's incredible. The next movie I saw was A Simple Favor, which was directed by Paul Feig. It stars Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. I was very much looking forward to this one because Paul Feig only ever directs comedy movies, and this time he was directing a sort of missing person movie, and I was super, super excited to see his directing style. And I got disappointed. Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively, I will give it to them. They are incredible in this movie. They play their parts so, so well. Blake Lively deserves so much more recognition as an actress because she's great. But this film is very tonally confused. I don't know whether it's supposed to be tonally confused and a little bit campy and a little bit weird. If that's what they were going for, that's great, but it didn't quite work for me as a film because it swapped and changed so much, and because it was advertised as like a thriller, it sort of goes in different places and it's funny at one point and then it's dramatic, and just didn't work for me. Sorry. And the last TV show I watched was Friday Night Dinner, which is a British TV show. It's 20 minutes long, it's on Channel 4, it's a sitcom show, and it tells the story of a family who join together every Friday for Friday night dinner and all of the antics that go on. It's such a simple setup for a show, but the scenarios these writers come up with are insane, and the actors in the show are so, so funny. There's a character called Jim, who is the neighbour, who constantly, every episode, has to come round for something, and he's like obsessed with the mum called Jackie, and he's just wild. Like, this show is just so funny. Like, I've missed the In-Betweeners a lot, and this is kind of replacing the In-Betweeners for me. Like, it's so funny. And last but not least, the last film I watched in September was A Star Is Born. Now this is the film directed by Bradley Cooper, also starring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. It's the 4th remake of A Star Is Born, but this is very much a modern telling. It tells the story of a country singer named Jackson Maine who stumbles into a bar one night and hears this woman, Ali, singing, and he just becomes obsessed with her because she's got such an incredible voice, and he wants to help her rise to stardom, hence the title, A Star Is Born. Now this film emotionally wrecked me. I won't give any away spoilers, but Lady Gaga basically crushed my soul here. She is such an incredible actress, such an incredible singer. I didn't know Bradley Cooper could sing that well. He completely surprised me, and the fact that he was directing and acting at the same time was insane. The amount of detail and effort they put in to this film to sing live and to really get the feel of a concert is insane. Like, they performed at Coachella and Glastonbury, and it's just mad, but I absolutely loved this film. I felt every emotion: laughter, pain, sorrow, love. Oh my god, it's just such a humane, raw story that even if you're not into country music or nothing like this has ever happened to you, you can relate to this story. I'm still thinking about this film now. It's just so beautifully done and directed. It was just so great. I'm not prepared to put myself through it again, but I'm going to have to, because it was a great film. It's definitely in my top 5 of the year. I can't blame them for giving it a standing ovation at its premiere. I absolutely loved A Star Is Born. So those are all the things I watched in September of 2018. Let me know down below in the comments if you've seen any of the things I've seen. Also let me know down below in the comments what you were watching in September. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Follow my social media links, which are down below in the description. My Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and Letterboxd are all down there. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you very soon. Bye!